We are back here on the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show. Brian Broome is my guest. His book is Punch Me Up to the Gods. It is a memoir. The other thing that you talk about in this book, Brian, is homosexuality. We don't talk about that in the Black community.
We don't. We don't. I say in the book, like, the gay Black man in Black culture is relegated to the role of choir director. Um, we don't talk about it, and I think that there are reasons that we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it because of the masculinity issue, the gender roles issue, and we don't talk about it because the Black community is rooted predominantly in a Christian faith, and when that ends the conversation for a lot of Black people. I would love for us as a community to maybe expand the conversation, so that I've sat in a lot of church pews and heard preachers just say awful things about gay people. We don't talk about it in the Black community. We don't talk about it enough, but I'll tell you this, it's been a real treasure in my life to meet Black people who are not homophobic. It has been, I grew up thinking, there's racism from the public at large. At least I have Black people. And then when I figured out I was gay, I was like, well, Black people don't like me either.
You ain't got them either,
Yeah. So I was just like, where do I go? But one of the greatest joys of my life has been meeting and encountering Black people from all walks of life, be they heterosexual, be they gay, or whatever, who really have absolutely no problem with people being gay, and that's predominantly with whom I try to spend my time.
Sure.
But I know that it's out there, I know that the homophobia in the Black community is out there, and it is something that I wish that we would talk about more as a community.
And so it's hard to take all of this and try to squeeze this into a half-hour show.
Yeah.
So obviously, folks need to read the book. They should read the book, and here's why I say that as well, because I've kind of pulled out all these very serious subjects, but you write about them in a way that makes the reader at times laugh, chuckle.
Yes.
And then you give me all these little nuggets that I can connect to. Like, I know somebody like that. Oh yeah. I can put it all together, but obviously your addiction is also a big part of all of these other things that we've talked about. And as I understand it, from most folks who've dealt with addiction, there's a numbing component to that sometimes people reach a point in life where they just want to numb the pain from all those other things.
Absolutely. I think it starts for a lot of people, I think this is why some people become addicts and some people don't. I think a lot of us start out drinking and doing drugs is, fun. It's party time. But then there are some people who recognize the fact that I don't have to feel the way I feel every day if I'm drunk, I don't have to feel the anxiety. I don't have to feel the depression. I don't have to think about things that I don't want to think about. Being high really helps with that. Unfortunately, it is a temporary thing that you have to keep up, and it destroys your body. It destroys your relationships. I think that one of the reasons, I used to wake up and the first thing I wanted was a drink. The very first thing, not Cheerios, not cornflakes, whiskey, because I was fighting off demons. I was fighting off the fact that I absolutely hated myself every single day. And it took going to rehab and drying out and getting some therapy to get me to a place where I could begin to heal from my past, and I think that's the case for a lot of addicts. The reason that a person is an addict isn't because they're having so much fun, being high all the time. It is because they're fighting off a deeper pain.
This other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to run out of time. We have a minute left. How can folks get the book? You're going to do a couple book signings and all that kind of good stuff.
Yes, I will be doing a book signing at White Whale bookstore in in Bloomfield.
Hmm.
I'm so sorry, I don't even know the date, but you could come to White Whale and get Google it and get a signed book from me.
There you go.
There's also City of Asylum on the north side, which is a great organization and a great bookstore. You can get the book from there as well.
I tell you what, we could talk for 2 hours. In fact, when you were on the radio, I think I ended up having you for an hour, and it still wasn't enough. So we might have to get you back on because I feel like there's so
uh,
much more we didn't talk about. But
I'm happy to come back anytime.
I tell you what, you told me about the book. I'm glad that you did. It is called Punch Me Up to the Gods. You want to read it for sure. Brian Broome, thanks so much for joining us today. Good stuff.
Thank
Good
you very
stuff.
much.
We'll take a break and come back and wrap this all up.